As of late, more and more collectors have been recognizing the value of Grand Seiko. Most who see or handle Grand Seiko for the first time realize the amount of work that has been put into making a near-perfect watch. However, there is an issue with the stepping stone process of reaching Grand Seiko. Well, allow me to introduce to you guys the next best thing. In fact, let me say the closest thing to a Grand Seiko, because saying the next best thing means Seiko cut corners. As you will see here in today's review, they definitely did not cut any corners. Seiko fans will already know the amount of value you can get from their watches. It's incredible what you can get under the $500 mark while still keeping every component in-house. Let's just say this, there's a reason this company is still standing strong since 1881 and had the entire Swiss industry shook in the 1970s. So now that you've experienced Seiko, you've decided to move forward. Well, unfortunately, the next step after those incredible $500 watches comes Grand Seiko with over $5,000 watches, which I'm sure most aren't comfortable with the 10 times jump just yet. But all hope isn't lost, because today we're taking a look at SEIKOSHA's best mid-range watch. Yes, I said SEIKOSHA because I strongly believe they should bring that name back for their higher-end watches. Now, presented here today is the Seiko SJE073. A stainless steel watch with a 41mm diameter, 20mm strap size, and most importantly, a 9.8mm thick case. This watch may seem familiar. Well, that's because it's the successor, or should I say, what they should have done in the first place, of the Seiko SARX055. Now, the SARX055, however, was in titanium, which I personally prefer the stainless steel case of the SJE personally. The SARX also had a 12mm thickness versus the current almost 10mm thickness. And finally, the movement of the SARX was the 6R15, which is a great movement with a 50-hour power reserve. However, I prefer what's inside this watch. The most important difference, however, is the level of finishing on this watch. It's incredible. Quite frankly, makes me question purchasing my own Grand Seiko, especially if it was fitted with the spring drive caliber. I would heavily consider trading. The Zaratsu polishing mixed with the beautifully finished brushing is on par with Grand Seiko. The more we inspect this under macro, the more we realize how much we're getting for the price point. Many call this the baby grand snowflake, however I completely disagree with that nickname. The dial is more of a frost dial, which is equally as beautiful, but it's just not the same. Honestly, I would personally call this the SEIKOSHA Frost. Also, the more we look under macro, the more we realize this watch is perfect in every way. I couldn't find a single flaw on the dial. Now, fitted inside this watch is the 6L35 caliber. Quite frankly, one of my favorite movements from Seiko, a 4Hz or 29,800 VPH caliber with a 45-hour power reserve, 26 joules, and more importantly, it's 1.3mm thinner than the 6R15, which actually explains the 9.8mm thickness of this watch. But guys, of course, the star of the show is the dial. However, this dial kind of speaks for itself, so in the end of this video, I'm just gonna have it with some relaxing music so you guys can see how beautiful this dial is for yourselves. But guys, thank you so much for watching. This video was in association with ExquisiteTimepieces.com. Make sure you check out ExquisiteTimepieces.com. They're an authorized dealer for Seiko, Grand Seiko, Blopa, Breguet, Omega, and many other brands. So guys, make sure you check them out. And guys, thank you so much for watching and enjoy these macros.